what does that look like for a business to be able to be sustainable in these three areas of people, the planet, and prosperity, where it's like, I'm not doing this just to become the richest person. There's a need for it, so maybe I can build a business around this. So that's where the pursuit of coconuts came into play. Is like the pursuit of happiness is like this journey that we're going on of like purpose.
Right.
But coconuts is kind of what enticed us to get there. And then that's when shit hit the fan and we realized it's a lot harder and there's a lot more corruption and we're fighting an uphill battle. It took a while. Like first year, nobody wanted to work with us. They're like, oh, they're real. Like they're staying here. They actually care enough and they're crazy.
Yeah,
And
that is a crazy thing to do. Literally move to another country and like just pack up your stuff. Free falling, but also trusting like the process.
yeah.
Hey friends, welcome back to Cozy with Kalina, where I share my journey as a nurse by day and an artist by night, having real conversations with multi-hyphenates, dreamers, and doers. Don't forget to subscribe and catch new episodes every Thursday. My next guest is a serial entrepreneur and the founder of Pursuit of Coconuts and Isla Eden, building businesses that uplift people, culture, and the land. A proud Cambodian American and Long Beach native, his diverse experience creates a legacy of impact and sustainability. Welcome to the podcast, Polin Ung. Yay!
Thank you.
Yes.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you, thank you.
Good
Thank
job.
you for being here.
Yes.
Let's just dive into how I know you. You're my cousin-in-law. So thank you.
We've grown up together.
We've grown up together. And I'm really excited for this one because I feel like we've had conversations, but we haven't really dived into like you as a
No.
person.
And last time we were together, you were sick as a dog in the
Yes.
Philippines.
I was very sick.
I've got a glimpse of it, but we didn't get
Yes.
to hang out.
Yes, I looked super pale. And then I remember I tried was it the guava leaves?
Yeah.
And that helped a little bit because
Did they do that whole helot thing where they like blow smoke on you and stuff, or did you just?
no, I
drink?
didn't have any helot.
Okay.
Helot is like a healer, if anybody knows.
It's not witchcraft, but close to it.
A little close to it, but it's like the way, like the ancestral kind of healing that they do in the Philippines, where like someone will like kind of
Take tobacco
yeah.
leaves, roll them up with some other healing leaves and herbs, and like suck in the smoke and blow it on your body, or blow it on your body, and massages and
Yeah.
oils and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I feel like I was dying basically. I lost I think like 7 pounds or something
Same.
like that. I don't know. I didn't have a weighing scale, but I definitely saw it in my face. And so it wasn't the most ideal, but I'm glad we had some family time.
Yes.
So, and the Philippines was super beautiful.
As always.
Yeah. And I'm glad I got to visit all of you.
So now I get to see you again.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. I wanted to start with an icebreaker.
Okay.
If your life so far were a movie, what would the title be?
I'm horrible with movies.
Or it could just be like a moment that you're living right now. Like what? Because I know you've gone through a lot of transitions. You know what I mean?
I love action movies, and I love like sci-fi and like a big Matrix and John Wick kind of movie guy.
Oh,
but
okay.
my life will probably be more. It's crazy because I hate them, but like more of a romantic movie.
Oh,
Because I've been in
okay.
a season with Cheryl of like this journey of everything that we do. So it's like a life partner, and it's almost like a right now, because I guess it's the freshest thing. Like that idea of a family leaving an inheritance, and it's like this beat up winery or like this vineyard, and then you go there and you have to restore it, and it's like, oh, this is so cool. Then you have the frustrations, and then it's all like all worth it in the end. I feel like that's kind of happening. So I would say something along of like Stephanie Grace, or the grace of the river, or
I like that. Of the river, of the land.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good to know. So let's talk about like the very beginning.
Okay.
Like as you as a kid, how was your life when you started? I know like you have had like you've always had this business mindset, and so I want to ask you about it.
Yeah. Grew up in Long Beach, and my parents were working all the time. And I remember my mom sewing clothes at home, as do a lot of Cambodian families that moved here. And it was not a sweatshop, but it was more like a sweatshop.
Yeah.
But
But like low key.
yeah, low key. And then I think you get privileges where you can actually bring bags of clothes home and sew from home. But even when she was sewing in the factory, I just remember being around that stuff. So like work ethics generally in the Asian cultures are really strong anyways, but
Mhm.
kind of growing up with an immigrant family that came with nothing on their backs to the US, I was literally sitting in baskets of the clothes.
Mm.
And then by the time I was 4 years old, my mom was teaching me how to cut the yarn, the loose strings
Mhm.
off of all the garments because uh, that's something that they had to do. So they would sew, and then she would get paid per piece, and it was like pennies per piece. And so we would just make sure. So the you just started finding joy in the little things as a kid with anything. So
Yeah.
the little strings, you would get caught up on all your clothes, and at the end of the day, the prize was you take this big blower and you blow all the string off, and that was like fun. And so
Ah.
I think I got to witness what hard work looks like just to survive. I mean, my dad was working 2 jobs and going to school, and he was able to work into becoming an aircraft mechanic, and so that kind of established the family. But we grew up in a one-bedroom apartment and a sewing machine, and um,
And
was
how
able to
many
go from
siblings again?
there's I've got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, so there's 7 of us total in the family in a
Wow.
one-bedroom apartment. And so kind of clawing our way to where we're at now was is a blessing. And I think the the beauty about being a kid is you don't realize what that struggle looked like because it's just you're just a kid looking for fun. So it's
Mhm.
just like, oh, getting in fights with my siblings, and we're
Mhm.
all together. And I do remember the feeling. I don't remember the moment, but I do remember the feeling when my brothers and sisters got older. One of my sisters moved out of the house by the time she was in high school just because things were tough. I mean, it was Long Beach, bunch of gangs,
Mhm.
um, PTSD parents, I would say, because they came from a traumatic war, but nobody knew that back then.
Right.
That wasn't language that we used back then. We do
Yeah.
that now. And
Mhm.
so she moved out, and then slowly people started, going to school more, having outdoor and outside activities. And I just remember it being like less energy in the family.
Mhm.
And there's probably a lot of tension back then. I mean, my dad almost got arrested when he tried to spank my sister. She fell and she like broke her arm, had to take her to the hospital, and they were like questioning him. Like, what
Oh,
happened? Like,
like
did you,
domestic,
yeah,
like a social worker.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they threatened him to go to jail. And so
Oh
he
wow.
literally, from that point on, never laid hands on us. And it's like uncommon for it's like, no, you spank your kids to correct them. And so,
Yeah.
but he didn't understand the system enough to say
Mm.
like what was right or wrong, or he was just scared to death.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's
So
so scary.
it is, and especially and I tell Cheryl because we made a big move to the Philippines with our kids at a certain age, and it's like that was scary enough, even though it was our
Mm.
choice. But
Mhm.
for them having to move without a choice from war,
Yeah.
I was just like, I can't imagine what my parents go through or went
Yeah.
through.
Oh my God. I remember your dad telling me a story one time.
Yeah,
So I used to live
in the front.
in the front. And yeah, so one time when I was like in the garden or something, he was like telling, I don't know how we came across the story, but yeah, it was wild. But he told me like he was scared that he was gonna be the one that was gonna get killed,
Yeah,
and you know,
my mom was in these camps where they were literally gonna wipe out the camps, and she actually was educated, but they killed off all the educated, but
yeah,
kept her alive. And so there was a letter that came in that said, okay, exterminate the camp. And she was just said, hey, the next generals, at the next camp said that I need to go translate for them some information that was sent to them because they don't have anybody to do it. And it
Oh,
was like
because they couldn't read. They
yeah,
couldn't
the
write.
soldiers couldn't read or write, so
But she
they
could.
they grabbed the kid. She grabbed her kids, and they said go that way. She walked far enough where she couldn't see people. Walk the other way, like trying to escape. And she just said that she escaped to where it smelled the worst because she believed that soldiers wouldn't want to go back to where the bodies were decaying.
Wow.
And so it's like that's like movie type of crap.
Oh
like,
yeah.
And so I think, but as a kid, there's no context of that.
Right.
So you just kind of look at what you've got, and then you're growing up, and my oldest siblings are not yet quite adjusted, getting made fun of. So gangs were like very attractive to them because that was their community. Because the parents were always working,
Yeah.
and so birds of the same feather flock together. So they found their community, and a lot of that was just a community in the streets. And so it was just a lot of street smarts of surviving and seeing really bad things that turned into like, okay, this is normal. So I think the struggle, the hard work, all that I wouldn't. It's not good to grow immune to it, but you get used to it where you know how to survive in it, and it can either consume you, or you learn to get strong enough to survive with it. And I feel like that has translated in this world of entrepreneurship.
Oh yeah.
So it has made tough skin for some of the hardest battles, which now I look at and I thank God, like, oh wow, like he is taking all these struggles and all these challenges and using it for the good. So it is a reflective gift. I don't, and at that time, you're a kid. You're just trying to enjoy life. Like you're just trying to have fun.
Right. Right. You maybe not like you don't see the whole entire picture yet of that world.
Yeah.
So you were helping your mom with like the little extra
Sewing clothes.
And I remember you told me something about like moving to like Texas or something, and like you were in charge of a donut shop or something.
That was later on. My parents, my dad's job, Continental at that time, closed down a lot of jobs in LA and moved their base to Houston International Airport. And so the decision for him was that was his like first career, and so he wanted to stick with it. So he had to make the decision to move all of us there. But my mom does not like cold weather, coming from Cambodia, the tropics. So California was that like, hey, this is comfortable.
Yeah.
So he first went there and kind of worked remotely, and working for the airlines, he was able to fly back. So he had an apartment there, flew back, and my mom would go there at times. So that kind of started the trend, and we were going to school here. And then when my brother graduated, so he's a couple years older than me, they moved there. And so it left me with a house to myself. My sister owned a liquor store, and we had the trap house, the party house.
Oh, shoot.
in high school. And that's what kind of caused my family to go there, because my uncle also worked with the airlines. They went to school together. They came together. So it's my mom's sister's husband. And so he moved over there, but he moved his family over there. And when he moved his family over there, my older cousin that lived in another state at the time was getting drunk all the time and became a drunkard. And so they bought him a business to kind of focus him down and save his life. And it pretty much is what business does every Cambodian in the family need or have to call themselves a Cambodian?
Yeah.
What is that?
Donut shop.
Yes. That's right.
Yeah, I remember watching that
Donut King?
Yeah, Donut King, that documentary. That was like crazy. I never knew like that whole like that was the reason why. I was like, wow, he like literally like recruited so many like friends, family, and then just
and that's what
exploded.
That's what my aunt did, and that's where we had opportunities to get in business. So I was working for such a long time already. So when I finished high school, or I didn't even finish high school, but while I was in junior high, I was going there to work anyways because my dad was there during the summer. So I would just go for the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd be working a lot of times, like just throughout the summer. While kids were playing out on the streets, I was rolling dough.
Ah, rolling that kind of dough.
Yeah, exactly. Not rolling in dough, but
Yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I was the child labor at its best,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
it
yeah.
was a family business, and it matured me um, in a lot of ways where I had to interact with customers,
Mm-hmm.
and the donut hours are not like, sunshine hours. It's like
It's
we get
like late.
there
Yeah,
at
or
2
early.
a.m.,
Yeah.
12 o'clock at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just sleeping on bags of donuts, sleeping at the shop. Like, we would go home smelling real, like,
Yeah, like bread.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so that was one of the things that was, I think, whatever you're accustomed to as a child becomes your norm.
Mm.
So if it's a bad situation that you're in, you just grow up thinking like this is how things are, and so you
Right.
seem to attract or be around or comfortably be around things that you are around as a child.
Right.
So hard work, being at the business 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
where that was integrated in your life was pretty much my childhood that shaped
Mm.
me to become a entrepreneur that can work long hours, that could integrate things into life, and
Right.
um, it's a way of life, not a job. Yeah.
Mm.
So
Wow.
that's the childhood that shaped,
Who you are today.
yes, the ethics.
Wow, that's amazing. And I know that you didn't take the traditional route of like college and stuff. Like were there
No, college didn't take the traditional route of trying to suck me
I
in.
know, like trying to conform,
Yeah.
right? And so was there a reason why you chose that or
I think I would have done great in college. I'm a fast
mm,
learner.
mhm.
It's just guidance.
I see.
My junior high, I had a teacher that was guiding, and my graduated junior high with the highest GPA in all of Long Beach. I took
Mm,
zero period, did all the extracurricular activities, did all the stuff, got straight A's all sixth grade to eighth grade.
mhm.
And then high school, the counselor hated me, so it's like that reflected. So I think the
Oh.
the people that have responsibilities to guide, if you get lucky enough or blessed enough to be able to have the right people or family, but my family came from Cambodia. They didn't know anything about the school systems and what, you'll hear Asian parents, and the reason why they could say become a doctor, just keep going to school, become a doctor, is that's just a formula for success, but they don't even tell you how to do it. They don't tell you what to apply for.
Right.
They don't know themselves. They were just trying to learn the language when they got here.
Yeah.
So I think that was the whole thing. I mean, was somebody walking you through it. And I can speak of this now because I'm walking Eggsy and Penelope through this whole process of like talking about college.
Right.
And so and
Oh my God.
I know
Are they that older? Oh, Eggsy.
he's a
He's like
junior.
oh no. Are you
He's
serious?
got his last day of work today. He's worked for the summer at a
Wow.
bar,
At a bar
a bar
or a
restaurant.
bar restaurant.
Yeah, and he can't touch any of the drinks and stuff. He's in the back and serving, like picking up dishes and cleaning and serving food and stuff like that. But he's got coworkers like on break, uh, taking a puff and like saying, "Do you want some?" And Eggsy's like, "No." They're like, "Have you ever smoked before?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "No marijuana, no cigarettes." He's like, "No." And they're like, "How old are you?" He's like, 16. And they're just like, mic drop, and they walk away, and there's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's 16."
Ah, he's so tall
Yeah,
too.
and they're
He's
like, they come back to him, they're like, "This conversation never happened." Yes.
like
Yeah, I did not offer a minor drugs.
right, 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 right. Oh my
Yeah, so he's at
God.
that age, and so now I get to reflect and go, "Wow, I didn't have this." We went to the DMV. He passed his permit test yesterday,
Mm.
and the we had an appointment. We go over there. He doesn't have some of the paperwork, so I have to go home and get it. So it's like, man, we waited 3 weeks for this appointment, and now we got to come back and stand in line.
Yeah.
Thankfully, everything moved smoothly, but I being frustrated. I was like wanting to just like let it all out, but I thought to myself, I was like, when I was this age, I had to figure it all out
Mm.
without any guidance, and I probably went back and forth tons of time to figure out what I needed to, paperwork wise and
Yeah.
application wise. And I said, here is Eggsy in the same situation, and I looked at him. I said, hey, you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So here goes the options at this point. Yes, I'm frustrated, but we're gonna get over that. It's just a scenario, but that's the guidance that I didn't have. I was like, I'm get to give my kids what I didn't have. So,
Oh.
so yeah, I think that's the reason for the college didn't call for me because the
Mm.
guidance and all the stuff and I was working already and I was used to working
Mm-hmm.
and working provides income right away and supplies us with certain comforts once we start doing it. So
Right.
um, then it just became about how do you work harder and smarter and how do you upgrade at work.
Yeah.
So college was not high school counselor Miss Goodman.
Ah, Miss Goodman. Ah.
Yeah. Mm, Not a lot of great stories about you, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the kids that kissed your butt you enjoyed. But shout
Mm.
outs
Shout out.
to the evil Miss Goodman because
Right.
it shaped me and gave me a direction, and it didn't
Mm.
take me down. But that
Right.
is a big reason I would say influence is important to give instruction and guide and be able to
Totally.
help. So
Yeah, if someone's always telling you no, like you can't do something, it's not gonna make you motivate. Or I mean, it could, but I feel like yeah, the guidance is so important. Like more support is
yeah,
positive, I
yeah.
think.
I just want to dog on Miss Goodman more because she like literally called my dad into the office
Uh huh.
and sat him down and like the conversation started with your son's doing drugs.
What? Okay, that's
False
that. Oh
accusation. I looked
wow.
at my dad looked at me, and he sees me working after school,
Yeah.
on the weekends working.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, looked at me, and I go, no, I'm not. And he goes, no, he's not. Like, he's
What
like,
the?
how, when does he have time to do drugs?
Right.
And so,
Right.
she quickly realizes that and she backtracks and she goes, well, he doesn't have enough hours because he's been ditching school. So then she goes to
Mm.
like probably legitimate stuff. I'll take accountability for it.
Mhm.
And the fact that she started with that shows how much she cared because she didn't. She didn't look into it. She didn't ask any questions. She just made false assumptions and grouped people in her thoughts of how people are and didn't guide as a counselor.
Mm.
So
She was upset about something in her life.
she's a hater. That's all.
Yeah, hater, hater. Wow. So, what kind of skills do you think that you learned a little bit differently than maybe like your peers at your age at that time?
I think having to figure things out since I was super young. And I tell Cheryl, it's a blessing and a curse because I'm super vigilant and figuring out like seeing problems before they come. So you can call it paranoia, you can call it a lot of things, but it works well in contracts.
Mm.
It works well like uh, Cheryl didn't understand why when I go to places I kind of had to figure and map things out first because I told her as I'm able as an adult to reflect back now, as I'm traveling as a kid, I had to be hyper vigilant of my atmosphere because I didn't know what was going on and it was dangerous for a little kid to be traveling everywhere.
Right.
So I would be very aware of my surroundings,
Mm.
which plays very well in business. And then learning people quickly um, and
Yeah.
learning people's habits and characters and
Yeah.
being interested in that stuff.
So
That
you're able to like read people's
Yeah,
skills.
street smarts is what they
Mm.
call it, but it literally was the w- the skill set that you start to develop when you're in defensive mode of
Mm.
then once you get to the place where it's like, oh, I know how to survive in this, and then it's like then you go from surviving to like how do I thrive in this, and then you start
Mm.
you're able to pick and choose and be aware of and be cautious of. So I would say that has been the gift on the other end because then you're avoiding less trouble and problems in a lot
Mhm.
of sense.
So, how did you start to realize like I could do this on my own? Like you were working for you were working for the family business. Did you ever work for someone else or think like, "Oh, I want to build my own thing?"
I don't think I was able to process those. I don't think there's enough self-awareness at that time.
Mhm.
So it was more so like, oh, I kept busy. I was able
Mm.
to do stuff. I think you at a younger age, at least in the workplace, at a young age, for me, it was just a lot of just teenage emotions, and it's just more so like just getting through it.
Mhm.
And so it's like if it was in front of me, I'll just do it. And so that created a habit of just executing, like just getting up at 2 and working until 12 and then going to Costco for shopping. And that was 7 days a week
Wow.
and nonstop working through the holidays. So I think it wasn't, I don't think it was like at that time and a younger age, even into my 20s, I think it wasn't um, strategic. It was just like, I'm just going to keep doing stuff. And then I think once
Mm.
you start doing stuff, and I think this is a lesson in life in general, is sometimes we overthink things and sometimes we just need to keep doing things. And as
Mhm.
we do things, we gain more experiences and see what works. And then we tend to try to do more things that work. So again, since at a younger age I didn't have the guidance, I think life taught me a lot of lessons by just going through it. And then
Okay.
I learned like, oh, I actually like this, or I want to do this. I'm actually good at that. I learned at an early age I don't like to be behind the office, and I don't like to do just white collar work. I need to
Mm.
get my hands dirty, which defined a lot of the things that and how I would engage things. Um, so yeah, I think at a younger age, I think Gary Vee says it all the time.
Mm.
Just do a bunch of stuff and get the experience first
Yeah.
before you can really define. And so that was luckily I fell into that luckily.
So you started just working in different things, just working, and then finding out what you
It was the
liked.
opportunities that presented itself, and so it was the donut shop, and then I would just work badly in the donut shop. My brother opened a car shop. I worked there with him, helping him with that. So I would go to the donut shop, work, go to his car shop about 30, 45 minutes away, work, go back, sleep at the donut shop. So I lived at work
Mm.
for a big portion of my life.
Wow.
And then when my family, the business stuff, money makes people funny, but they
Mm.
also invested a lot of money, lost some money in the car shop. And so I decided to move back to Cali. And I was like, well, okay, what can I get into that I could do on my own? And I got into real estate. At a young age, I looked like a kid selling a bunch of stuff, and I had a
Mm.
race car, so I was like, I gotta look older, so I would start wearing baggy clothes and this tie, and then sold my little sports car for a little like for a family van, so I can feel like more mature.
Yeah,
So
like,
just
huh?
learning like to play the part,
Mm.
um, and then just then found mentors. Then I think the biggest jump in my entrepreneur career is my faith. Like I think that's when
Mm.
things really took off. Not to say that that's the reward of faith. Like it's not that you get more money because you have faith. It's
Right.
just that was a process that I went through, and God really shaped that season and focus on business, which fast forward led me into Pursuit of Coconuts and Isla Eden and giving up a very successful business and house and cars and life in Southern
Mhm.
California to pursue something that I felt was, I think the question that Cheryl and I had was, if we had our business here, are we changing people's lives? And you can
Mm.
try to justify it like, oh yeah, people's lives are getting, they're getting homes, their homes are getting built to their dream, and a lot of that will, I'm gonna be super blunt with it. It's like very superficial.
Mm.
And so the life changing stuff that I was thinking about or wanted was like, would I make a difference in somebody's life if I was here or not?
Mhm.
And I was like, no, people will still get their homes remodeled and get investments and make money. Um, but if what we're doing in the Philippines, if we are there and a kid is able to go to college and build a life for his family, but wouldn't be able to do that if we weren't there, maybe that's the bigger blessing. So
Mm.
that's the Pursuit of Coconuts, and took all the training and business acumen and knowledge and applied the asset-based community development when we were doing nonprofits and doing all that stuff. So we developed the story of the Pursuit of Coconuts and kind of documenting our journey to that. And Isla Eden is the outcome of the business model that we're now launching.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, did you have like a vision of like, hey, I want to like get into sustainability and like make an impact somewhere, or like, what was that turning point or day or
So
moment?
the three things is people, like we knew, and being in business a lot, businesses have extracted even from the land, even from the ground, even from farming to, mining for the resources that you need to build phones, and there's a lot of extraction, and
Mm-hmm.
that even happens within people. Like businesses will get talent, drain you as much as you can,
Yep.
burn you out, and you wonder why people are getting burnt out. It's because there's so much extraction. So
Right.
there's a theme that we say that we took more than we gave. So I wanted to see and challenge myself to say, like, what does that look like for a business to be able to be sustainable in these three areas of people, the planet, making sure it's not wasteful. There's sustainability in that, and prosperity, where it's like, I'm not doing this just to become the richest person.
Mm.
How does this business, and the reality is, these businesses can do a lot of revenue, and this revenue does not mean that I need to get the nicest car, nicest house. That
Mm.
can actually translate to the prosperity for more people also.
Right.
So we have a whole farm to product. Understanding all the supply chain is a lot more challenging. There's a lot of trust that needs to get built in. You need to be a part of the community. And this actually, the journey started in like 2019 of realizing coconuts are expensive here. Coconut water is like a bottle of that. It's like minimum $2 up to $10 for a small bottle of coconut water.
Right.
And going back and forth to the Philippines because Cheryl's family is from there, and we would bring the kids there to vacation. We were just like, man, there's a lot of coconuts falling on the floor, and it's so cheap here. Why is it cheap here and expensive there?
Mm.
Follow that rabbit hole, and realize farmers don't get don't get a big bulk of the supply chain trade, so they get taken advantage of. Then I realized, oh, it's even worse in the Philippines. Oh, there's a lot of corruption.
Oh yeah.
Oh, who's
Mm.
standing up for these? Who's standing up for people here? And then just kind of God said, maybe you can do something about it. And so
Mm.
I think there was an opportunity to say the world supply and the uses of coconuts is sustainable because of the plant and tree itself, but also there's a need for it. So maybe I can build a business around this. So that's where the pursuit of
Mm.
coconuts came into play. Is like the pursuit of happiness is like this journey that we're going on of like purpose.
Right.
But coconuts is kind of what enticed us to get there. And then that's when shit hit the fan, and we realized it's a lot harder, and there's a lot more corruption, and we're fighting an uphill battle. And I think it was one of those things. Have you heard the term "burn the ships"?
No.
So it's like going somewhere, and the ships give you an option to go back. Like you can take, so you burn the ships, and you're stuck there. So that's us selling our
Ah.
house, giving up the business that we built
Mhm.
up, and so we burnt the ships. So when we got there, it was like for the good, the bad, the ugly. Like we're here and we're committed. And I
Mm.
think the community, it took a while. Like first year, nobody wanted to work with us because oftentimes foreigners and traditionally go somewhere,
Right.
make want to do all this stuff, but they're not a part of the community. They get burnt out or whatever, and they move back, or they have the option to leave the problems.
Right.
But when we were there and faced it, and people were expecting us to leave because it got uncomfortable, threats are coming, the
Mm.
kids are like, missing, and like their friends and the resources, and it's just like the conveniences. And they saw us there. They're like, oh, they're real. Like they're staying here. They actually care enough, and they're crazy. And
Yeah, that is a crazy thing to do. I mean, to like literally move to another country and like just pack up your stuff and just start anew, and you don't, and you're just like free falling, but also trusting like the process.
yeah, and I think that's the biggest faith journey of my life too, is like being able to trust that God's got us. It's been a shedding of great, the like, it's being torn apart. Like, you're used to these conveniences. We like, jewelries, nice car, designer stuff. Like we were able to indulge in fine dining, and then we're in the countryside.
Mm.
We're in,
Yeah, because
nothing's
they're,
convenient.
and just for reference, they're more on the like province, right?
Yeah,
So not the city life, the province where like there's green. Like I've been there and it's beautiful, lush,
yeah,
but yeah, definitely not city
yeah.
like
You
we're
can't
here.
go out and grab a burger at night.
Right.
There's no Uber Eats, and it's like this is how this little thing shows the things that we take for granted. The
Mm.
All of us in our family, Penelope, Eggsy, and Cheryl and I, when we go to a developed country, Korea, um, the U.S., what traveling, whatever it is, we indulge in showers and baths because the water pressure and the hot water. Because we have little tanks
Mm.
that trickle out water out of the thing.
Yeah.
Our little water heaters aren't like a house water heater. It's like a little electronic thing that heats up the water as it's passing through. And
Uh-huh.
so it's like we literally stand there and just go like, wow, this is a lot of water coming through the shower. This is really nice.
Yeah, water is like a huge thing in countries. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why they have those projects
Yeah.
to like create water because it's yeah, like
Yeah.
Philippines, I'm used to like the tabo and
Yeah.
like, like
That's it.
pouring the water
Yeah.
in a bucket
Yeah.
and then,
So it's those little luxuries, but on the
yeah.
flip side, I think my health is better there.
Mm,
I'm here and like the food is very tasty.
yeah.
But we have a farm, the aquaponic farm. We're like eating so close to the source of food. Like the way we eat over there is great. Like I feel physically a lot better there.
Right.
Not the additives. The meat is not refrigerated. It's like slaughtered, and you're going to the market and you're grabbing it. And so we're the vegetables off the farm,
Yeah.
and so we know exactly what's going into our bodies. And that's
Mm.
been amazing because when you get older, like as old as I am now, like your body just starts effing up. So you just need to take care of it. So
Yeah.
this is I feel a lot healthier there. And just even like the stuff that we take for granted, like over here we have so many activities. There's 35 gyms that we can go to in a
Mm.
mile radius. Like we can just over there we have limited gyms, or we have to drive 45 minutes to an hour away.
Mhm.
And when you go there, they like Eggsy and I, we go to jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Over here they would have an adult class and a kids class. Over there we just have one class, and there's like
Mm.
sometimes three of us, four of us that show up for class, and sometimes there's more people. But the resources there, that's the only gym on the whole island that does jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
The blessing of that is Eggsy is at that age where he's training with adults, so his skill level is skyrocketed. One, two, I get to train with my son, which I wouldn't be able to do here. So our bond is like super close
Mm.
with activities that we are quote unquote forced to do together because of the resources. So
Right.
there's a lot of shedding that has been beautiful, of like we don't need as much as we think we do
Right.
in
Mm.
food, in clothes, in material things, and over there, you know how it is, tagay hanging out and like people just chilling.
Yeah, chilling for real and like being in the moment.
Yeah, being in the moment and
Right.
community.
Mm.
And I think that's the long studies and the more studies you look at, and they look at people across the world at different demographics and different income levels, all the different varying things. There's a common thread of where people are happier, and it is when people have good community with them, like good
Mm.
friendships and good
Right.
good
You
family.
thrive better
Yeah,
and you're happier.
yeah,
Yeah, like I hear that all the time. Like the people who live in the poorest countries are the happiest.
yeah,
Yeah, we just get sucked into, I think, like capitalism and consumerism, and there's just like, it's never enough
yeah,
sometimes. And that's like the bad part of it. Yeah, it's nice to have stuff, but like, after you've met those things, like, how much more do you really need of a designer bag, like you
yeah.
were saying? And it's really not that important. you know?
It's yeah,
It
it's
doesn't
not.
lead to happiness,
It
is what I
doesn't.
mean.
Yeah. There's of course there's, you know, fulfilling all the needs, and then there is a cap to that. And uh it's funny because, you know, we do a lot of our social media stuff in the intent to kind of share what we're doing to sell stuff. And
Mm,
so strategically, I know I'm marketing. I know I'm playing into consumerism and capitalism.
right.
And the redemptive part is like we want to do it. We want to redeem parts of it. Like we want to make sure it's done well. We want to make sure that the profits are shared and like this, it goes to the prosperity of many.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the realistic thing is like we know that we have to fight for market position, so we have to market well. We have to
Mm,
tell the story well. We have to be very aware of it to be able to compete in the same place. And it's just
right.
like I think about what, you know, Jay-Z said about like the NFL. Like people were mad because they thought it was like, why are you going into that field of business? There's racism and like they just this that, and he just says you can't you can't change anything if you're not at the table.
Ooh, that part.
Yeah.
That part.
So that's where
Yeah.
we feel like, oh, we really have to do business really well and strategic and make
Mm,
really good products and not just sell the empathy part of the story. We got to actually make a badass product where people want to come back, use it over again, market it really well where there's a lifestyle brand where people feel good about themselves when they have it
mm,
and do all the good stuff with it. So
right.
the model or the theme that we have at Isla Eden is sustainability meets where sustainability meets not fashion but style, where sustainability meets
Mm,
style, like where we can
mm,
actually merge the two. Because when you think about sustainability, you're thinking about like being dirty or
right. Right.
overalls or like
That's
living
very
in the
true. Yeah.
jungle. It's like
Like farm,
no,
like a kind of like farm
yeah,
kind of
but
thing.
it's like no, you can be you can still be stylish, and that's Cheryl. Like I don't think we are ever gonna get it. That's in our DNA.
Yes.
So my, you know, Cheryl's a designer
Yep.
and the flyest person that,
So fly.
yeah.
Shout out at the Cheryl.
And I think that speaks to a lot of people too. So um, it is taking everything that we've gone through, the good, the bad, the ugly, and using it in a redemptive means of people.
I love that. So let's talk about pursuit of coconuts and Isla Eden. Can you just like let us know what's the difference?
Okay, so Pursuit of Coconuts is documenting the journey and the back end of all of it. So
Mm,
it's kind of the purpose, the why, the how, the struggles, the transparency. And so people can that's where we can really be honest about what we're doing.
mm-hmm.
Isla Eden is the brand that shows itself as the business. So that one is
Mm.
really refined. The hand models are of the farmers are like hand models. We got to get the nails done. We
Hey,
got to make sure that things aren't dirty. We got to like
right.
paint the fruit to make sure that it looks good. Like put makeup on the fruit. Like so,
Wow.
Isla Eden is the competitive marketplace.
Mm.
The Pursuit of Coconuts is giving you the back end of all that because we don't want to lead with like, hey, these we don't want to guilt trip into people to buy our stuff.
Right.
We actually want to have an amazing product where people fall in love with it. And I always liken it to like meeting somebody and they're you see them and it's like, man, that's a beautiful person. I want to meet this person.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you're lucky enough to be able to date them, and then you start realizing like, wow, they're not shallow. They're actually really kind-hearted.
Mm.
Wow, their bank account is full.
Yeah.
Like what like you just start realizing like, wow, they serve at the homeless shelter. They're doing this, and they've got a great family. Like, and then you realize like the deeper you go, like, man, I'm in love with this person.
Mm.
We kind of wanted to create a brand that was like that, where people see the packaging and they're like, oh, this is dope. Oh, you know, I love the smell of this. Let me use it. Wow, it's really good for my skin. It's really good. It's multi-use, and you know, I is then after that they look at the package and they read it and they're like, oh wow, this is sustainable. What does that mean? Oh, they go from
Mm.
they work directly with the farmers. That's I didn't know that. That's pretty dope. And then it's like, oh, they have a global local aspect. You know, they're working in the Philippines and helping farmers and fighting food insecurity. I would have never known that, but I'm glad I'm buying this now. And then they
Mm.
realize like, oh, I'm buying this in LA, and they've teamed up with a job training, and they're working with women who have been trafficked to really support them. And like, how the heck do they do that? Like, where does all how? And then it's
Right.
like, and so they just then I sat with somebody yesterday, another influencer, and the person that does all the editing, and she was like, now that you talk about it, like, I want to buy this thing. It's like,
Mm.
that's the we want to build a company with depth
Mm.
and meaning and heart, which a lot of companies now build to sell and make the founder and the employees a bunch of money. So it's always so consumer based, and
Right.
like, what can I get out of it? Like,
Right.
we're looking for a legacy project where this business will forever give back.
I love
Yeah.
that.
So it's a passion, it's a calling. It is I think they always say dreams so big that you can't take credit for it, that it has to give the glory to God.
Wow. That's powerful.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's kind of the stage. So that's it. That's Pursuit of Coconuts is the story. You can find all of our mess ups. You can see us eating giant worms and integrating with the community and figuring this stuff out as we go along. And we're going to be actually changing the format of that. So it's going to be a lot more entertaining. We're actually taking a foreigner that visits the island. And so we're
Mm.
looking for people on the beach, and we're saying, hey, come spend a day with us. People are like weirded out.
Right.
Some people are just like ignoring us. Some people are mad because we're bothering them. Some people are like, oh, we got plans today. Well, we found a lady that was like, yeah, I'll go with you guys. And we are like, what the heck? You're gonna jump in this
Wow.
van with tinted windows
Oh my god.
but
That's funny.
an amazing time. We had coffee with her. We took her out, and then went on the river, paddleboard, picked her up on a boat, took her to the waterfall, had homemade coconut wine that we made, then took her to
Wow.
the farm, showed her around, told her the purpose of what we're doing. And then a part of that is we go knock on a random person's door and take all the harvest that we got from the farm, and we cook a meal, so that way a foreigner and a local can interact together. So you see this like surprise
Wow.
interaction. We get to share our story, and that's going to be the new format once I get back to the Philippines, that we're going to be trying to release every other week and every other week after that.
He's busy. Booked and busy.
Yeah, well, that we're trying to kind of promote. We're going from like founder led like story to like entertainment, because entertainment brings in more eyeballs, and so we're
Right.
at a point where we're releasing products, so we're going to start really focusing on marketing pretty hard with influencers and all that stuff. So
Oh wow, how exciting
yeah.
is that? I can't wait to see. I just love watching your guys' journey. It's just because like being on the back end, it is a lot of work.
Hmm.
Like I know with this podcast, it may be like 1 hour, but 1 hour is not what goes into releasing this 1 hour
No, it's like
episode.
100 hours. It
Right.
feels
It's like
like.
it feels like so much time,
Yeah.
and so props to you guys. I mean, you guys are killing it. I love hearing
Thank
the
you.
journey, watching the journey. So much.
And you get to witness it. You can go visit the farm. You
I
can stay with
know.
us at the hotel.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would love to visit again,
Yeah.
and maybe next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great, and just to see like the progress of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That'd be dope.
yeah. I remember like seeing your guys' farm last time,
Yeah.
so
So
I'm
to see
sure.
the changes, I mean, to be able to witness it from like infant stage to as we develop everything, that's gonna be a fun gift.
Yes, yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for being on this
Of
podcast.
course. Thank
I
you
have,
for having
of
me.
course, of course. I do have some rapid fire
Yes,
questions.
ma'am.
What is your favorite thing about the Philippines so far?
Community and
Mm,
the beaches and the waterfalls and the pace. Because
mm,
I'm an outlier, and I work. I'm addicted to work, and I find a lot of value in it. And I'm a workaholic, and I've owned up to that.
mm-hmm.
And the island doesn't allow that to be. So
So has it kind of taught you like just living in the moment and being
no,
no, no.
it yeah, it makes me appreciate it though.
Oh, it makes you appreciate
Yeah, it's
it.
like it makes me appreciate the people, and because you if you're working like the way that I work, it's like you want other people to work the same way, and
Mm,
it's kind of creating space for other people to be and myself to be. Like, I get to be me fully and work however I want to work, and it doesn't mean that other people have to conform to the way that I work. And so
Mm.
it can be dangerously contagious, because I think the comment that I get from people is, I feel like I need to be doing something when I'm around you all the time. And that's
Mm.
even from my wife. So for her, it's like creates anxiety. Like,
Mm.
I feel like I'm not doing enough because you're always doing something. It's like, and then learning to
Mm.
love each other and realize, like, no, that you're not me.
Right.
And so I don't expect, I actually think it's a curse for a lot of people, like, because it's not healthy.
Yeah.
I just was raised a lot differently, and talking about childhood. Like,
Yeah.
I grew a different callus and a different experience to be able to do this stuff, and a different strength to do this stuff.
Mm.
And so if somebody were to try to do that without having the experiences that I've had, it's very dangerous to be burnt out
Right.
and then have anxiety. So I think because of that and the community and the pace of life, I'm able to appreciate the people, their lifestyle, the love that they have for one another. And that's, at times I sit back and go, that's a gift right there, because they're happy.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, this endless pursuit that we have sometimes in this Western world is not healthy.
It's not.
No.
Yeah, that's why I think like the rates of depression are and anxiety are higher, and especially with the power of social media. I
Yeah.
mean, there's always a plus and a minus to things, and I think especially like with the newer generation, like Gen Zers and
Yeah.
younger, I think they grew up in a time where that was like already in their hands. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see why people have
Yeah.
these high
So I
depression
guess the
rates.
three things would be community, family, because it forced us, and we kind of knew that going in, that we would be in a place that we see each other a lot more, and there's not a lot of these activities. And so we are a very close family, which I'm very thankful for. That I feel like it's harder to do with two parents working and a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of activities going on, expectations. Like, we erased some of the expectations of that, and we were able just to be a family. That was one, and then just the beauty of nature and kind of what it brings, being closer to the land.
Right.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And let's bring it back to here, to
Yes.
Long Beach. Favorite Cambodian spot or dish in Long Beach
All right. This
that you
is
could recommend?
I
Because
I
I want to know.
I can recommend this, and everybody who's had it will agree. Like,
Okay.
there's 100%. Like, everybody would agree, and you're lucky enough that you've been there, but nobody else can go there because it's my mom's house.
Hey, yes, yes.
Right.
She makes the. I've tried her cooking.
Yes.
She can cook.
Yes, whatever it might be, she can cook. So I don't need a restaurant or a place. I just, like,
Mm.
she throws down.
She does. She does throw down.
Yeah.
And you have it in like your front yard sometimes.
Yeah, it just shows up, and it's just like, it's a gift that keeps on giving. And
Yeah.
so I would confidently say that is the best and most missed and
Mm.
place that and it saves me a lot of money.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Cooking can get expensive.
Yeah, but it is awesome. Like, I hope that I get to spend some more time making and learning her recipes. But she always says, it's not the recipes, it's your taste palette. Like, you have to learn to just taste it and
Mm.
adjust to it. And she's like, now that you have, tasted my food, your food is going to taste similar to that, and people are going to love your food. I'm like, oh,
And I love your cooking too,
thank
which
you.
leads me to my next question. I think you got your cooking from your mom, probably.
Yes.
Is there anything that you like cooking in the Philippines that like you can't cook? Like, cause I would think we don't in the Philippines. There's not all the same spices, the same kind of ingredients. Is there anything you like cooking over there?
I love barbecuing in general.
I've had your steak.
Yeah,
Bomb.
barbecuing and the fresh stuff, like fresh seafood. So we do our, like, sashimi parties. I'm able to just kind of, roll down the road or go to the wet market on certain days,
Mm-hmm.
and I get to pick fish that are just super fresh out of the ocean, and seafood.
Mm.
And so we'll do, like, yeah, like nights where we just do sushi wraps, and so there's that, and then the barbecue is the main thing. So
Yeah.
whole different style of barbecuing. Our briskets are different because it's like wood, and everything is like homegrown there. So we have to plan things out. Like it's either going to be water buffalo that's like similar to beef because we don't get good steaks over there unless you or you pay a lot and you have to plan that way ahead.
Yeah.
Or every Friday they harvest the carabao in Lubbock and we get to go over there and get that. Pork has been like over here. It's like, oh, stay away from the pork
Yeah.
over
Oh,
there.
Philippines love their pork.
But the pork over there is super healthier than
Mm.
not super healthy in that it's packed with protein. It doesn't have all these additives like the porks that they do over here. So
Mm.
Cheryl would eat pork here and get bloated over there. She does fine. And then the native
Mm.
chickens that just walk around, and so there's no antibiotics. Like, but it's a whole different flavor and texture profile, and it is delicious. And Eggsy has learned how to barbecue, so when we go there, from roasting a whole pig that's like 300 pounds and
Yeah.
doing it for like a 16-hour 20-hour roast, like
Ooh.
barbecue, to like just cooking
Wow.
fresh food at the farm. And
Yeah.
so a lot of it just has been like farm to table.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Definitely want to have a little meal when I get back and
Oh,
visit you
not a
guys.
little. You are not gonna have just
Okay, well,
yeah.
we Filipinos, so we know how to get. We got big
Yeah.
parties, big food,
Yeah.
a lot of food all the time. So
Exactly.
can't wait.
That's the hospitality part.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And one more thing, if you were to give advice to anybody who's an entrepreneur or just wanting to get started, or what kind of advice would you give?
Okay, so I would say if it's a spiritual journey, so include God in it. And when you realize how God created things, who God is, you start to understand more of how he created you uniquely. And so
Mm.
and how much power you do have, because I think there's going to be the roller coaster ride. And oftentimes we try to define our identity through our outcomes, and
Mm.
God sees past all that stuff. So when you really work into your God given gifts, talents, calling, and then you actually move into a really sweet spot. And when
Mm.
you move into that spot, I think um, it starts to being poured onto you. Meaning, like, it might not look financially, but you might be happier. And when the financials do hit, then you don't treat it as a god, like its own little idol, and you
Right.
use it as a tool. And when you start doing that, and then people start entrusting you more with it, people start seeing, people are tired of being a transaction.
Mm.
Um, and that's in the industry as you know it. That's at certain workplaces and how people are treated. And so I think when that happens, uh, naturally it's good business. Being good
Mm.
is naturally good business.
Being good is naturally good business.
Yeah,
I love that.
yeah,
And has anyone given you advice that you still?
tons.
Yeah, I bet.
I ask a lot of questions. I've got my mentors and friends and advisory boards, and I don't even want to start naming them because once I do, I feel guilty if I don't name all of them. So,
Right.
but I am probably, my gift is not how smart I am, is uh, how I don't think about things and I just jump into them and do it
Mm. Mm.
and figure it out on the way and ask a lot of questions because somebody has the answer. And
Right.
I think if, as an entrepreneur, if you think you need to know everything, that's when you put a lot of pressure and stress onto yourself because that's not the truth.
Mm. Deep.
Yeah, so I would say it's a spiritual journey to know yourself, and I think to better know yourself, there needs to be a consistent measure, and for me, that's my faith.
Mm. I love that. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
being on
thank
this
you,
podcast.
Hannah.
Anything you want to promote?
I want to promote Hannah. She's
Ah.
doing amazing things, and I think the hard work will pay off. And um, she's a full-time worker. She's a great and loyal friend. So I don't, behind the camera, as a genuine good person.
Oh,
There's
thank
that.
you.
So you can see all of our projects, and you can follow along with what we're doing. But we'd love to support what you're doing too. So
Oh, thank you.
yeah,
And where can people find you on
we're
socials?
the Pursuit of Coconuts on Instagram, Pursuit of Coconuts on YouTube, Isla Eden Naturals will be launched really soon, and you can become a member of that. And there's an annual membership if you want to support what we're doing, and you get really cool stuff, gift cards, exclusive stuff from the Philippines, which is going to be super dope, and it's going to be a movement. So that's going to be launching towards the end of this year. We're supposed to be launching by next month, and we're kind of working out the details. It's the best soap in the world, made from coconut oils and the best ingredients around the world, and it took us a year, 2 years to formulate.
Wow.
And so we are now launching that, and we've got a plethora of people that will be working with us to get this out there. So yeah, thank you for the plug, and thank you for this time, and thank you for this platform.
Of course, of course. Thank you for being
Yeah.
here. Hope you guys enjoyed that last episode. Don't forget to watch new episodes every Thursday on the next Cozy with Kalina. Thanks for watching. Bye.